have you strong and have clarity as a weapon. Hey, never lose faith. We all have a purpose on the planet that we take.
How your first studio session went, Matt?
It was great. I kind of approached it from, the same attitude as I always do. So don't expect anything. Just bring the good energy in the spot and kind of, let it go. It went pretty well. I'm happy that, the people have fun. Actually, that's just why I'm here. If the energy of the crowd goes up and if people are, happy, if I can make somebody's day, that's really a success for me.
So tell me about the tracks that you just performed. Did you write it and produce it yourself?
Yeah, I produced and wrote both of them. And so Spaced Out is kind of just like, it just breaks down into organic happiness and energy that comes from within. I really think that if you strip everything out, if you take away the personality, the ego, the worries, the fears, the emotions, you're just left with organic, cosmic happiness. And that's kind of what I wanted to convey with Spaced Out. And the only way is it can kind of say that it's the means to attain the state to the first one. I see a lot of people suffering because of very subtle things in their life. And depression is a big topic in this era that we live in, and a lot of people struggle with that. So, me as a person that dealt with depression before, I felt like I could bring some, practical information about how to, deal with that.
Spaced out, so down, draw down.
Okay, so you're in your second year of studying creative music production and sound engineering. How has DBS contributed to your artistic growth?
A lot. Hugely in terms of quality. The quality of recording has gone up through the roof thanks to the equipment that I can use over there, thanks to abolishing a lot of myths that I had before in terms of like acoustics or very basic things like setting the gain on the preamp. So that's definitely that helped a lot, mixing and mastering my own music. It's something, it's something that I've learned. I remember I released an EP, Sorcerer, in this March, and I remember I was actually grinding quite a lot to like get it to sound at the point that I wanted to, like, walking back and forth between, techs and teachers asking for feedback. But like kind of once I got this in place, I was like, wow, this really sounds great. And right now I kind of do this process like quite fast, because I know all of a sudden, like, I know instantly where the levels need to go, where the compression, the EQ, the harmonics, where they need to go. Engineering wise, it's fantastic to be able to be in this institution and just get like so much knowledge. But also from the whole production point of view, for instance, like we have classes with Bridget Farrell, and it's optimizing creative workflow for studio recording and for music production. Basically, this module introduced me to dub music, and I read a book on how it works that's also available in the library, and then I kind of like realized that I can do the very same thing that the dub artists in Jamaica in the 70s and 80s were doing with my music. So I applied this concept to some of my tracks. I'm actually gonna make a little bit of dub for my next mixtape from my previous rap records. So definitely, it does influence, growth as an artist to a huge extent, both creatively and technically.
Body of Hercules, happiness is something that happens here and now. So if you give it future conditions, you're just dragging yourself down. Or if you find yourself crying on the floor, eating chocolate, watching House of Cards.
So what does the future hold for Augustyn?
That's it basically breaks down to me living in the moment. I don't try to plan for huge amounts of time. It's just this industry is so dynamic. Like you actually just never know what's gonna happen. I might go for 10 years without gaining any extra recognition. I might get famous in 2 weeks. I might drop a new video. Somebody's gonna discover it. It's like, let's sign this guy. I'm planning. I'm planning to go big. Actually, just I see a lot of misery around the world, especially around the world that I live in. A lot of people struggle with depression, anxiety. They seek for answers in clubbing and drugs and things like that. And I think that that this organic happiness that I'm trying to present in some of my music, this can be just done easily. And like I really think that Earth is is at a verge of a spiritual evolution, a huge leap of spiritual evolution, and you know, I just kind of have a mission to assist it.
Never lose faith. We all have a purpose on the planet that we take, and it's not to suffer. So look forward to liberate. I promise you this thing: every being always finds its own way.
And so what advice would you give to somebody who's just a few paces back from you, who maybe look at you and think, I want to be where he is? So what advice would you give to that person?
These are the words of a student from summer school that I met, Tara. She said, music industry holds no rules or no standards when it comes to success, failure, or nothing. It's totally free, and the way you need to adjust yourself for that is just have an open mind. Same as in here, you might have been doing, you know, your recordings a certain way for a long period of time. You might come into school and they show you like, this is what you might want to do. I'm not saying that, you know, recording this or that way is better or worse. I'm saying that if you have an open mind, if you have this capacity to open yourself up to new possibilities, to new techniques, new ways of producing, creating music, you might stumble upon great things. You might end up having a lot of fun. You might end up saving the world.
Spaced out, zoned out,